Hey guys, welcome back. After doing so many blondes, I feel I have really perfected my art, and today I will be giving you ways to do an amazing highlight and get a great result. Starting out with tip number 1, my first tip is Lightner. It's very important to find what consistency with what Lightner works best for you. Some people like it watery, some people like it very thick. Me personally, I like it with like a pancake batter consistency, a very smooth, creamy consistency. Also, when mixing my Lightner, I never mix more than a scoop to a scoop and a half because I find the more you mix, the more of a chance it can get thick, chunky, and swell. Today I'm using the love of my life, Joico Blonde Life with 20 volume and a 16th ounce of the liquid gold Olaplex, and I am very aware of how this lightener works, and everyone should know how their lightener works as well. Tip number 2 is baby lights. Everyone likes what technique works best for them, but for me, I love baby lights. You don't necessarily have to do baby lights, but the smaller the sections, the better the lift, the better the blend, the better the grow out, and the lower the developer required. If you are wanting to do an all-over brighten up with a blonde, just do a very, 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 very tightly packed baby light back to back like we're doing here today and like I do 90% of the time on my clients, and I assure you, you will not regret it. Tip 3 is saturation. It's common sense, but something I feel I really need to mention. I see fellow stylists all the time either not use enough product or saturate way too much. Neither of those are good. You want to saturate and make sure everything has enough product and keep running over it until it feels saturated. Remember, bleach stops working when it dries up. Tip number 4 is clean sectioning. I know you guys are probably thinking, come on Brett, really? But it does make a huge difference. See here, as I slow down the frame, there was just a little too much hair on that one side, so I'm cleaning it up before I stitch my baby light. It might not look like a big deal to you guys here, but it would throw off my consistency. Would my client have noticed? Obviously not, but you want to give your clients a reason to pay your worth and always choose you. We are now living in the time where a very talented colorist is on every single street, on every single corner, in every single town, and we have to do things that make us stick out from the rest of the pack, and this is just me, this is my style. Tip number 5 is tension. Tension is key when foiling and is what could make or break someone's finishing results. I always like lifting up the hair that I weave, place my foil down and pull that hair down tightly so I can get as close as possible to the root and I don't loosen up until I apply the product to hold the hair down like glue. Tip number 6 is what I call my Sinful Headband. Most clients love these lived-in looks and love the rooted blondes, but 95% of the time, my clients say they want to have that dimension, but be really blonde all around the face. So the Sinful Headband is a technique with detailed hairline foiling all around the entire head, and it's a cool tip to give your clients that want that gorgeous hairline, and I have a YouTube video already going over this. It's called Sinful Headband Technique, and it will be linked down below in my description box. Tip number 7 is 2 different things that go together. It's having the correct tools and the correct foils. It really is true when people say you are just as good as your tools. For example, when it comes to bleach, I have tried using a billion different kinds of brushes, but the Goldwell tint brushes are my must-have. Also, I love ceramic and hard plastic bowls. Ceramic is heavy and keeps lightener from swelling, and I use plastic for color because it doesn't stain. I love Framar foils, and I can go on and on and on and on. My Blonde Life lightener, and I could just keep going, but make sure you have tools that you love, and I promise it will make the foiling sessions go very steady and easy. Tip number 8 is to avoid bleeders. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when it comes to avoiding bleeders, it is something that is a must. I haven't had a bleeder in a very long time. I can't even recall the last time I did, not boasting or being cocky about it. But when I apply my lightener on the hair, you'll notice no matter what kind of lightener I'm using, I always try new lighteners. It does not have to stay a half an inch away from the root. I'll start a little down from the root area, but I always walk the product up slowly and steady. And you do not want to apply a brush full of product and start right at the top by the root because you'll regret it. It's also important to get the lightener to the top of the foil, but never pass that onto the scalp. If you get any lightener past the foil or onto the scalp, I always wipe it clean right away because if you don't, you will have problems.
Sometimes when you're here, I can't feel no doubt, 'cause you keep me where the stars are bound. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here.
You always want to tone the root area different than the mids and ends because they don't take color the same. I have 3 different ways to tone the root, and I have a video breaking them all down real soon on the way, so stay tuned and keep your eyes peeled for that. There is nothing more satisfying than when you're pulling the foils and you see that beautiful white blonde underneath them. It's amazing how long it takes to put on those foils, but how quickly they come off. Just a reminder, my cousin and I did a half a babylight on her, and I did do my Sinful Headband as well. I always like checking the elasticity of the hair by stretching it a little bit towards the ends to make sure that the hair is bouncing back. And lately I have been loving pre-toning my clients before I even tone them, using whether it's no orange or no yellow. You guys, do you see that hairline? This is why I love my Sinful Headband. You guys gotta try it out. It's amazing. I'm so proud that I added this technique to my blonding menu, and it's only $75 if the client wants to get it just alone around the head. And you can add it to the half baby light, half highlight, or a full highlight as well. Tip number 10 is blending the root toner with my favorite Zambia wide tooth combs or Olivia Garden's eye blend brush. I always put Olaplex number 2 on the mids and ends before toning the root because they get that part 2 Olaplex treatment, as well as it acts as a barrier protecting the freshly porous blonde hair, and by combing it blends seamlessly. If you don't blend that root, it will leave harsh lines.
Sometimes when you're here, I can't feel no doubts, 'cause you keep me where the stars are bound. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now.
Final tip, tip number 11, remember to stay consistent. Remember to care about every single hair on the head of your client, not just the outside. You always want to have great solid work all the way through, no shortcuts.
It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter.
And the hair isn't burnt.
I gotta leave that in there. That's so funny. So guys, I hope these 11 simple tips on how to get better with highlighting help you all out. I read all emails and all comments, so all of your video ideas are in the works. I also wanted to add that I tried Fanola's No Yellow Toners in this session. I mixed half 10 ice and half T.02 with the 3.5 volume developer, and I was very happy with these toners. Way happier than I was with the Blue Box older Fanola toners in my Fanola video. Not too shabby for my cousin's second session from Brassy Blotchy Box Dye. She's officially now a blonde. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Constructive criticism is always welcome here. And until the next one, so long for now, you guys.